Students, in this video, let's discuss about the reproduction in fungi. In the last video, we discussed about the general characteristics of a fungal body. Here, in this video, we are going to discuss about reproduction and its type. There are three types of reproduction, that is seen, that is vegetative reproduction, asexual reproduction, and sexual reproduction. Now let's discuss about the vegetative reproduction. Vegetative reproduction can take place mainly by three ways, that is fragmentation, budding, and binary fission. Now what does the word vegetative reproduction mean? Vegetative reproduction means when any vegetative part of the body, that means it is not related with sexual reproduction process, then it becomes the vegetative part. So when any vegetative part of the body gets involved in the process of reproduction, that is the formation of a new individual, it is called as vegetative reproduction. Now let's discuss about the first type, that is fragmentation. In fragmentation, the mycelium gets broken into two or more fragments accidentally, and the fragments can form the complete mycelium. Example, rhizopus. Rhizopus is the common braid mold fungus. They are also called as molds. And this rhizopus fungus, it is mainly found over the bread or lemon, etc. So here their mycelium, it is a filamentous type, and that is generally the unbranched filamentous type. And when this mycelium, it gets broken accidentally by any kind of pressure, its fragments or its parts can develop into complete mycelium again with the help of cell division. So this is about fragmentation. Next comes budding. In budding, the parent cell produces one or more bud-like protuberance which detach and grow into new individual. And its example is yeast. Yeast, this is a unicellular fungi. Unicellular, but they remains in colony because they have a very rapid growth of vegetative reproduction. Here the parent cell, which is just a single cell, it forms outgrowth from any part of the cell towards the outer side, and this outgrowth, it enlarges and later it gets constricted, and that only leads to the development of a new individual. Therefore, it is said that it develops bud-like protuberance. Protuberance, that means outgrowth, and it gets detached, separated. So this is about the budding process, which is generally done in case of the unicellular fungi, which is called as yeast. Now another very common form of vegetative reproduction, which is generally done by the unicellular organism, it is binary fission. In binary fission, the parent cell splits into two equal halves by a constriction and a formation of a cell wall. So we know the word binary fission, it means that the cell or the mother cell, it divides equally. That means the nucleus divides equally by equal constriction right at the middle of the parent cell, and that leads to the formation of two daughter cells. Therefore, this is called as binary to fission, means breakage. So these are the three common methods of vegetative reproduction that is done by the fungal body. But in adverse cases, they also form some structure which is called the sclerosia and rhizomorphs. Now let's discuss about the asexual reproduction process in case of fungi. So this is a very unique form of reproduction that is seen in case of the fungi, or it have started along with the fungi. So in this type of reproduction, it involves the production of a special reproductive cell which is called the spores, but it does not involve the formation and the union of gametes. That means we cannot call them to be the gametes, but they are also involved in the formation of a new individual. And these spores, they are of different type. Some are called as zoospore, sporangiospore, chlamydospore, oidea, conidia, arthrospore, etc. So different fungi, they exhibit different types of spore. So based on the name of the fungi, the member of the fungi, so they can have different names. So here we have some common types of spores. So first let's discuss about the zoospore. Zoospore are special kind of motile and flagellated spore produced inside the zoosporangia. So these spores, they are produced inside a sac-like structure which is called as sporangia. And these zoospores, they are specialized with their motile nature. That means they have flagella, that is the locomotory organ through which they can swim in the aquatic habitat for proper dispersal. Generally, these zoospores, they are without cell wall. And the formation of this zoospore, it is found in a species of fungi, that is albugo. Now next comes the sporangiospore. So sporangiospores are non-motile spores produced inside the sporangia. Non-motile, that means they do not have flagella, and they are also produced inside the sac-like structure, that is sporangia. And the sporangiospores, these are found to be formed in rhizopus as well. Next comes chlamydospore. So chlamydospores, these are thick-walled resting spore produced directly from hyphal cells. Now what are thick-walled resting spores? Thick-walled resting spores are some resistant spores which are formed during unfavorable condition, and to withstand that unfavorable condition, they makes their cell wall thick so that the outer environment does not harm the inner environment of this cell, and in that they becomes the resting spores, and such type of resting spores are called as chlamydospore, and the example is alternaria. So here they do not have any sporangia, they are directly developed from the hyphal cells. Next is the oidea. So oidea, the hyphae breaks up into small pieces which behaves like spores. That means here they are the parts of the hyphae only where it develops into small pieces, and that only becomes the spores. And here it is found in case of a species which is called as fusarium. And the last one, that is called as conidia. Conidia are non-motile spores produced singly or in chain by constriction at the tip of the hyphae called as conidiophore. So with the help of this diagram, I think you can have an idea. So the tip of the hyphae, it gets modified, and the part of the hyphae which holds these spores right at the tip, that is only called as conidiophore, and above the conidiophore are present the conidia. So that when favorable condition comes, they gets detached from the body and they forms individual fungus again. And such a type of reproduction is found in case of a species which is called as alternaria. The sexual reproduction in fungi, it includes the formation of two specialized gametes, that is the male gamete and the female gamete. The male and the female gamete are produced within two specialized structure which is called as gametangia. Male gametangia have the male gametes and the female gametangia have the female gamete. Now we are going to discuss about the steps which is involved in the whole process of sexual reproduction. The male gamete and the female gamete, during the process of fusion, it undergoes three steps. The first one is plasmogamy, second is karyogamy, and the third step is the meiosis. Now what is plasmogamy? It is the first stage of sexual reproduction in which the cytoplasm of the two gametes fuse with each other. So this is found in case of any sexual reproduction, that the male and the female gamete, they fuses with each other to form the zygote. Now here also at first the cytoplasm, they will get fused, and the fusion of this cytoplasm of these two gametes, that is only called as plasmogamy. And the resulting cell, that is called as binucleate or dikaryon. Dikaryon means two nuclei. Karyon, that is the other name of nuclei. So now the nuclear fusion have not taken place. Only the cytoplasm have fused. And this phenomenon, it is called as dikaryotization. Now after plasmogamy comes karyogamy. Now what is karyogamy? That is the fusion of the two nuclei, that is the male nuclei and the female nuclei. This is called as karyogamy. Plasmogamy is followed by karyogamy, and the karyogamy, it is followed by meiosis. The karyogamy, it leads to the formation of the zygospore, and this zygospore, it divides by meiosis cell division in order to form haploid nuclei, and this whole process of division of the zygospore, it is called as meiosis. So these are the main steps which is involved in case of sexual reproduction in fungi. Finally, this is the summary of the reproduction process in case of the fungi. So there we have seen vegetative reproduction, asexual reproduction, and sexual reproduction. In case of vegetative reproduction, that is from any part of the body that can give rise to a new individual plant. But in case of asexual reproduction, that always forms spores within the spore forming structure which is called the sporangia, and these asexual spores, they are of different type, which on germination they gives rise to a new mycelium. But in case of sexual reproduction, they forms gametes within gametangia, and this gametangia, they come in close association, and it undergoes three steps, that is plasmogamy, fusion of cytoplasm, in which it results into a dikaryotic or a heterokaryotic condition. Finally, the nucleus, it fuses with each other, and that is the process which is called as karyogamy. Karyogamy results into the formation of zygote or zygospore, and this zygospore, that undergoes meiosis cell division, which results into 4 daughter cells which are haploid in nature. That means it possesses half the number of chromosome, and these spores, they again germinate to form the mycelium. So this is all about the reproduction process in fungi. Thank you.